The $10 bet that became a wedding vow. The story of Savannah and Brody. Chapter 1. A small town beginning. In a small American town where Friday nights revolved around high school football games and pep rallies, Savannah Richards and Brody Johnson's love story quietly began. It was the fall of 2016. And while most teenagers were navigating awkward crushes and fleeting relationships, fate had something different in store for these two. Savannah, then a junior cheerleader, was well-liked for her warm personality and infectious laugh. Brody, a sophomore football player, was confident, charming, and the kind of boy who made friends wherever he went. The two first crossed paths in weight training class. Savannah remembers how Brody made his interest known right away. "He was the type of guy who wouldn't let anybody else spot me when we lifted weights," she said later. "It was obvious he was into me." But what Savannah saw as simple teenage flirting was, for Brody, something much deeper. He wasn't just interested, he was certain. Chapter 2. The $10 bet. One afternoon, during cheer practice, Savannah noticed Brody sitting nearby at a table with one of his friends, working on homework. What she didn't know at the time was that this seemingly ordinary moment would become legendary in their relationship. Amid the background noise of pom-poms and cheers, 15-year-old Brody leaned over to his friend and declared with absolute conviction, "I'm going to marry Savannah. I bet $10. His friend burst out laughing. "You're 15, Brody. You're not going to marry your high school girlfriend. That doesn't happen." But Brody, grinning, reached out his hand. The two shook on it, sealing the bet. To him, it wasn't just a teenage boast, it was a vision of his future. Chapter 3. A football proposal. Brody wasn't one to let nerves stop him from making a move. When it came time for homecoming, he orchestrated a proposal that fit perfectly with his personality. Savannah was handed a football during practice. Written across it in bold letters were the words, "You just caught a date to homecoming." At first, Savannah hesitated. She was a junior, he was a sophomore. High school social dynamics made her unsure. But something about the sincerity of his gesture won her over. That night, they went to homecoming together, and what began as a playful dance floor romance quickly grew into something neither of them expected. After homecoming, everything just changed, Savannah remembered. "We realized how much we clicked. It wasn't just dating, it was like being best friends. Loving him was so easy." Chapter 4. Teenage love that lasted. High school relationships often burn fast and fade quickly, but Savannah and Brody's bond only deepened. They became inseparable, seen together at games, late-night study sessions, and community events. Brody, true to his nature, was fiercely loyal. "If you know Brody, you love him," Savannah explained. "He's just that kind of person. And for me, from the very beginning, it felt like he was home." Their relationship wasn't without challenges. They faced the typical teenage hurdles: college applications, long practices, balancing school with sports and social lives. But unlike many of their peers, they stuck it out. Chapter 5. Growing up together. After high school, their lives naturally shifted. Savannah pursued her own studies and career path, while Brody continued to build his future. Distance, change, and adulthood could have easily pulled them apart, but instead it solidified their relationship. "We really grew up together," Savannah said. "All those big milestones, graduations, jobs, moving into new phases of life, we did it side by side. It made us stronger." The once playful $10 bet now became an inside joke between them. Brody would occasionally remind her, "I told you. I knew it from the start." Chapter 6. The proposal. Years after their high school romance began, Brody decided to make his next big move. In true Brody fashion, his proposal was both heartfelt and creative. He brought their story full circle, this time with another football. Instead of a message about homecoming, this one carried the ultimate question. "Savannah, will you marry me?" She said yes, of course. Chapter 7. The wedding day. On a warm spring day in April 2024, Savannah walked down the aisle in a white gown, her heart racing with the excitement of the moment. Brody stood waiting at the altar, a smile stretched across his face. Their friends and family gathered, many of whom had witnessed their relationship blossom from teenagers to adults. But there was one surprise Savannah had planned for her groom. In the middle of the ceremony, just as the priest began the vows, a video began to play. On the screen was a younger, fresh-faced Brody, sitting at that cheer practice years earlier. His teenage voice rang out. "I'm going to marry Savannah. I bet $10. The room erupted in laughter and tears. The video then transitioned seamlessly into their wedding footage. The walk down the aisle, the smiles, the vows. Even in his own vows, Brody referenced the bet. "I knew this day was coming. I even have a video to prove it." It was a full-circle moment, one that perfectly captured the heart. Chapter 8: TikTok Fame. After the wedding, Savannah decided to share the video with the world. Posting under her TikTok account at Vanna146, she uploaded the clip with the caption telling their story. The internet quickly fell in love. The video went viral, garnering thousands of likes, shares, and comments from people touched by the rare purity of their journey. "Someone owes him $10. Beautiful. Wishing you a lifetime of happiness. I thought she was gonna give him $10 at the altar." That's the stuff dreams are made of. For Savannah, the viral fame was fun, but the real joy was knowing that people could see the depth of their love. Chapter 9: The Legacy of a Bet. What makes Savannah and Brody's story special isn't just that they married their high school sweetheart. It's that, from the very beginning, Brody believed in their future with a certainty most people never experience at 15 years old. To him, it wasn't just a $10 bet. It was a promise. Savannah reflected, "We've been best friends since day one. Loving him came naturally, and I think that's why it lasted. He knew before I did, but he was right." Epilogue: A bet fulfilled. Today, Savannah and Brody laugh about the infamous $10 bet. Somewhere out there, Brody's high school friend is still technically $10 poorer, but what Brody won in return is priceless. From cheer practice whispers to wedding vows, from homecoming proposals to TikTok fame, theirs is a love story that defied the odds, proving that sometimes teenage promises do come true. As Savannah put it best, "We really are just best friends. We fit together from the moment we met. It's rare, I know, but for us it was always meant to be."